In a shocking and heart-wrenching tragedy, the world of athletics has lost one of its brightest stars, Rebecca Cheptegei, to an unimaginable act of violence. The Ugandan Olympic marathon runner, admired for her endurance and strength on the world stage, was doused in petrol and set on fire, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend. This tragic incident leaves not only a hole in the sports world but also raises urgent questions about domestic violence, particularly the alarming rates of violence against women in East Africa. Rebecca Cheptegei was not just a marathon runner, she was a symbol of perseverance, grace, and determination. Competing in the prestigious Olympic Games is a dream few can achieve, and Cheptegei had done it not once, but multiple times, representing her country with pride. Tragically, her story came to an abrupt and brutal end when she succumbed to severe burns sustained in an alleged attack by her former partner, Dixon Daima. The incident, which took place in her home near the Ugandan border in Kenya, has shocked the global community, especially following her recent participation in the Paris Olympics. Despite her achievements on the track, Cheptegei's personal life was marked by a troubling relationship with Daima, with disputes reportedly stemming from issues over her land. On the day of the attack, Daima allegedly snuck into her compound, waited until she returned from church, and ignited an argument that turned fatal. Witnesses, including Cheptegei's own daughter, described the harrowing scene as Daima poured petrol on her before setting her ablaze. The damage was swift and severe, burns covering 80% of her body. Cheptegei fought for her life in the intensive care unit of Mwa Teaching and Referral Hospital, but despite the doctor's best efforts, she passed away, her organs failing after such devastating injuries. Cheptegei's tragic demise highlights the ongoing and pervasive issue of domestic violence in the region. The horror of this incident, while deeply personal, echoes the untimely deaths of other female athletes in East Africa. Just 2 years prior, Kenyan runner Agnes Tirop was found murdered, allegedly at the hands of her husband, and another prominent runner, Damaris Mutua, also fell victim to violence. These cases paint a disturbing pattern of abuse that has plagued the lives of these talented women, robbing them of their futures and cutting short promising careers. The nature of Cheptegei's relationship with Daima remains mired in controversy. Reports suggest the two had been separated for some time, and tensions had mounted over a land dispute in Trans Nzoia County, where Cheptegei had recently relocated to train. Her father, Joseph Cheptegei, expressed disbelief at the brutal attack, questioning Daima's motives, especially since they were no longer together. Adding to the horror, Cheptegei's young daughter witnessed the attack and tried in vain to save her mother. Her heart-wrenching testimony of the attack, of being kicked aside by Daima while trying to help, has gripped the public and underscored the cruelty of the crime. The repercussions of this tragedy have reverberated throughout Uganda and Kenya, sparking calls for justice from both the Uganda Olympic Committee and the Uganda Athletics Federation. The latter, in a poignant statement, condemned the act of violence and demanded swift legal action to ensure justice for their fallen star. Meanwhile, Kenyan police have been investigating the incident, and Daima, who also suffered burns during the attack, is currently under medical care and police custody. Cheptegei's death has reignited the conversation around the protection of women from domestic violence. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, 34% of women in the country have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, a startling and deeply concerning figure. As Cheptegei's story garners international attention, it serves as a tragic reminder that even the most successful and resilient individuals can fall victim to gender-based violence. Rebecca Cheptegei's death is more than a loss to the world of sports, it is a profound tragedy that reveals the dark undercurrent of domestic violence faced by women across the world, particularly in regions where legal and social protection is still evolving. Her passing has left an indelible mark on her community, her fellow athletes, and the global audience who watched her compete with grace and determination. But her legacy, like that of Agnes Tirop and Damaris Mutua, should serve as a rallying cry for the world to take more decisive action against domestic violence, ensuring that no more lives are senselessly taken in this manner. As we mourn the loss of a truly remarkable athlete, we must also demand justice and systemic change to protect women from the scourge of violence.